Yes, Headmaster B, GS Apam Headmaster B.
Oh my God! 20 years for Assistant Headmaster of KNUST SHS. And yes, sir, Asema Ebesino, Kevin Taylor vows.
And Usha video now very disgusting. Papa de a Kurobia man go jail and you just sack. In fact, he needs to be prosecuted and jailed. Sir, Assistant Headmaster no. I was said man way yet chino. Your regional court near jail 20 years.
We all have seen the video going viral involving the Assistant Headmaster of Academia who's supposed to be teaching these little ones involved doing nasty things. Now, Kevin Taylor or the Superman any gumbelicious Abba.
Yes, Headmaster B, GS Apam Headmaster B, KNUST SHS Assistant Headmaster over viral video with female student. And Usha video now very disgusting. A hard and yet video no a hard Papa na de oyenye, but the rate at which Aquarano you could see say the Aquara is willing. And what will make young girls at that age see these things as normal?
Wait a minute. Say anyone subscribe to GX Celebrity News. Nabeka Abusakuno, Nianko, and Seminemu details.
Papa de a pedophile. Ono de a Kurobia man go jail and you just sack. In fact, he needs to be prosecuted and jailed. Sir, Assistant Headmaster no, or say prosecuted near jail no, and you just sacking him. And he said GS Jones is sacking him, and I end the show now. Then it means another teacher be to back where sadie no. Now junior and say, oh, where they achieve me a the man needs to be prosecuted. He is a dangerous man. Also called that efiase. Na obi disua nyansa. Teacher ni bi, any headmaster bi, and now teacher ni bi or be a young korasa, because just sacking this man basically is not deterrent enough. I was said man way yet chino. Your regional court near jail 20 years. Send a beya teacher ni bi ti baby or yes side because the probability said there are other masters and teachers be a yes idea way or Ghana no a high more than 100 million%. And I don't expect GS to just say this video came out and he has been sacked. That is not enough. And I don't want somebody to come say the young girl did not press charges. No, it's against the law of the land. The little girl doesn't have to press charges before man will be prosecuted. You don't need anybody to press charges. Ghana Mbrano Estetino, straightforward. It does not play around words. Okay, so we yes, so could them. And this is a video. Osha now see film. This is an assistant headmaster. So imagine headmaster for the Omoye. We're assistant. And I don't mean to say the headmaster for you bad, but imagine we're assistant headmaster. So I don't agree with GS saying the man has been sacked or the man needs to be prosecuted. They need to prosecute this man.
20 years else. Obe descended the educational minister of education, Haruna Idriso.
He needs to go to jail. He needs to be in there for like 20 years. He needs to be used as an example. And see, I don't agree with the health minister, the education minister, Haruna Idriso. This is under you. You can't be working in Ghana and feel Mr. Nice Man. This needs to go to the bottom. Haruna Idriso. You cannot tell me the GS which is under you, no. At the end of it, now Haruna Idrisu Sanka Akra where you bar. Kabaka say you should just sack the headmaster. No. You will go further. You will keep pressing until this guy ends up in jail. So you, Haruna Idrisu, this is a test for you. It is a test for you as the education minister. Prove to Ghana for say you are an education minister. It's not only about the flamboyance. It's not about you making it look like, oh, yeah, Jumani. You need to prove to us that you're competent enough to still be the education minister. Make sure, follow up, and make sure this man is prosecuted. I'll remind you every day, Haruna Idrisu. Because small girl way, and I go away, Me a small girl, if we say at the end of, make us a small girl, if we say only 18, our SS, and we know say SS for normal 18. At this point, say Akrawe Haruna Idrisu so anka your baba. I don't think say you just say they should just sack the man. Tomorrow I want the education ministry to release a statement that you want prosecution to follow and that you are instructing the Ghana Education Service to initiate that. Honorable Haruna Idrisu, tomorrow morning, your ministry needs to release a statement instructing the Ghana Education Service respectfully to make sure that prosecution has begun. This man who did this, because Ghana Education Service right now as we speak is under the Ministry of Education. You as the minister, this is your sector. Prove to Ghana for say you can be trusted. This headmaster needs to be prosecuted. And it can be done by you, the minister, making sure the law is adhered to. I am very fair and I've been very nice today. And you don't expect me to come back again, because when I come back the next time, I'm not going to be that respectful. Mr. Haruna Idrisu, you can choose to ignore me. It's fine. I'll have my say. You can choose to pretend you didn't hear this. But we are here. And when the time comes for us to question you on this, I will lead the pack to question you. So tomorrow, I need the Ministry of Education to release a statement that the Ghana Education Service should move ahead with prosecution. They should move this case to the CID office and make sure this assistant headmaster is prosecuted and jailed. We have all seen what happened. The evidence is clear. I'll come back to this matter, and the next time I come back here, I'll pray and I'll hope say it will be applauding the education minister. Let's say I'll come back and speak on this matter. And I'm praying, say, the next time I come, it will be a very, very decent commentary I'll have on this. And that at the end of the day, I'll be applauding the education minister. Maybe I have said it. And I've made it clean and clear. Now there's this issue with yejina education. So no, mama yanka adie we quick. There's this issue with oh sorry, this is the assistant headmaster. School placement at NPP 4%. I'm gonna make a meal out of it. Oh, school placement. Ebin see that. Ediana ekosi and the Ghana. Shedi see. Yes, school placement kwasi for munye din. NPP kwasi for munye din. School placement in the DNA and the school placement mode. Now, I don't even want to concentrate on the NPP. Now, my team told me, say, yenya one day, they discuss school placement and why we are having these issues with school placement. Now, when you ask me as an individual and somebody I have been there before, Mako GSSDB, Ako SSDB or Ghana, AVA. My classmate is Defensa Anyate, Emmanuel Money, Arnold Kemevo. I can give you so many classmates. During my time, Osesapon was the SP. I can give you so many mates of mine at Presec. My house was Engman House. I was in Dom A and I moved to Dom D. Everybody knows me as Kevin Taylor. Inti me call Presec, make sure I say. Inti when it comes to school placement, I'm a Bob classmate for I am part of the Presec North America Year Group members, and I receive my emails every day. I completed in the year 2002. Yes, records are there. Inti, I am a Presec, I am an order day. Into ba no classmate ding, no about room and war. No about a year udom, no about house, no about evidence. Chris Fifi is Chris Fifi. Yes, it's my classmate. It's my junior. Okoboy, I went to the same school, Okoboy. All my classmates are scattered all over the place. I want people to know that I am an order day. I completed Presec. Enti mabom year, abo me classmates, abo mo nyomo exams. Cyrus the virus, Mr. Kweku. Easy. I'm a very nice person. Has a very wonderful wife who is also a lecturer, a professor, beautiful family. Cyrus, me watch it in Ohio. So I want to speak on this school placement thing. Some people want to turn it into adibia yefreno politics. Now, the school placement now muhunisano. The problem we are facing as a nation, one, it's all about infrastructure. Problem I face school placement problems and starting there. It has been there. But time as school placement a big problem. When Nana Dankwe Kufuado opened the floodgates and said free SHS without thinking about the infrastructure. Secondly, parents do school placement problem way, they feel more entitled than the students. In the social school placement issues where it is more about the parents than the students. Inti utmi interview a parent, he feels say school way dear enisa me bako. Adentina system now from a bank to school way. Inti so check his system now. The school placement issues now is it is not even more about the young kids who are not even 18 years old. It's about how they feel and teach you they feel so entitled say I was say omumbako ekrokasiemu school. Into so what check school placement now. And your problem a parent in a problem. Now when you take your time and you call them one after the other and you question them why they are making noise about the answers they will give you, you can see clearly say it is about how their reputation. School bang. Now, Obaniko school bang, Obana Hefen Obeko school. It is about them than the kids. And with all due respect, some of them have genuine concerns, which has to be addressed. Because the moment you are using technology, you are using a system to, at the end of the day, put people in different schools. Definitely there will be some hitches somewhere. But majority of the people are who school placement no problem then majority of them about them. So the school placement issues you are seeing on TV and on radio, it is more about the parents, it is more about them, it is more about their entitlement, what they want, than what akwarano per se okoye. They are hearing their parents talk. Oh, amankwa. Oh, na mimi niake tobacco oko preseko me mane de also ko presek. Oh, now refi from pon. Me aman me a prempe boy you. E kwan bia so say me ba no ko prempe also ko prempe. In Quran they listen to these things. They listen to these things to a point whereby akrano nim say school na obekọ no obetuma ko school way and so ne papa mo ene nipa bi oni omote no I have a conversation be create impression be to akrano tim say enye school way no obekọ a onye. Until now, the kids are also towing the line of their parents. Any omawo for guidance, any for omulidi omuno. It is so steady a school placement problem now. The problem is not about school kids, no. The problem is not about the grades, no. The problem is about their parents, no. It's about where they feel their kids should go to school. Inti debiano sa unya butana wuti omo na so omo ma interviews na omo kasa you can see clearly say this parent nimpe and yet the student nimpe ana akora nimpe ana say akora ni grade no de e wose okonya o the parent nimpe the parent nimpe no automatically ni say the ban pe inti then akwa to say so one mama me de me awofo no me pa school placement system nye. And that is what we are facing in Ghana today. But at the end of the day, what brought us here as a nation? And the Ghana school placement, abe topic of the day. Nipebijin say they can make money out. Let me tell you, as far as we are still going to do grade A school, grade B school, grade C school, corruption in our placement will never end. I mean, can it be? And this cuts across me because international school through my life. You get what I mean? I know what this GSS thing means. Now for 4 more Saito, we know what they went through. And now for 4 more called Saito, they are doing better. They are doing well in life. Yeni mi enko for any omoko junior high schools are international schools are they are fucked up. Inti at the end of the day no yes your trust system ni muda. Yes your system ni yenim sibia etie. Now the problem I want Ghana to see no ye. The idea say your selected schools be say grade A. Your selected schools be say grade B. Your selected schools be say grade C. And some people in Ghana have made up their mind to say, "So me buy nya grade A, so we nya grade B, now we nya grade C. School B ya dem baloko to be no school ni nye." And let me tell you, as far as your Ghana, you will be a friend of grade A school, grade B school, grade C school, corruption in school placement. These kind of things you are seeing in Ghana, it will never end. Now, when did this start? Problem ni nyina free. When you talk about school placement, adenti na oba abrochira. Enkwala wie school, omo wie high school, and I say omo person ko college. Why don't we get these kind of things? Why doesn't it happen? Because if we are using the same format, if you have to write your high school and then you continue to college and now whatever. Now, the issue is DNA Emma, a lot of people at the end of the day, yenya sa in some way nipe bi ba me ba nya school ha na me ba also ko school ha. And remember, your parent bi a otumi yi ne first school be yama ne ba oko Western Regional and they had grade A school. Into the first school be a Pope Jones, a grade A school. No, I remember in the second school, ewo ebia wabebe yi Accra Academy, and you see a grade A school. And a greater Accra. No, a Sako ebia Volta Region, no akwe ebia Mauli, and you see a grade A school. Now, I will follow you and say, Nebani yi Pope Jones as the first school. Now, a Western Region, grade A school. Now, Osayi a yedien, or ye second school, and also a Accra Academy, and you see a grade A school, a Accra. Now, Sako yi a yedien, a Mauli, and you see a grade A school, Volta Regional. Sanebano enya eyedien Pope Jones na Nigerian say e was send the baninya eyedien Accra Academy no ana ne refi say Accra Academy na oyi wo Greater Accra no and say grade A school ni refi say Mauli na oyi no Volta Regional a grade A school. So if you miss out on your first grade A, you automatically will miss out on your second grade A and eventually on your third grade A. And these are the things that ana awofo ni nim ana obi na Nigerian say. So you school be a D1 kaya. Now so you school be a Western Regional. For all you know, Pope Jones and now whatever school GSTS and I say whatever school and I say be Porter Girls. Let me go be all Porter Girls. These are all grade A schools. But Nigerians say oh ye per second away na per second. Automatically, I was say the second school now ye no or no in their mind I was say the Porter Girls here grade 2, grade B school. It doesn't work like that. Now. Why are we doing this? And why are we here? And why are we having all this confusion? This all at the end of the day, Oba Bruchira, Ebinuho, Adentra, it is because you first invest in your what? In your infrastructure. In your infrastructure. Yebetima dinkoma ewo Ghana nyina ochina omabetina TV so. Now Oba Bruchira, amanfo ko college. You don't go here say omabo apeso ha. It doesn't work like that. The issue is that there are enough schools for people to choose. There are enough facilities. Now, schools are Ghana's say a grade A schools are and there a man for nyakwan say kwa untimi kono Presec a missionary school. Pope Jones nina a sorry for school. Achimota Anglican school. Boche. Majority of these schools you are calling grade A schools in your schools where you know and sorry na before no in the past no what these churches did was that so will be or teaching training college now or your presbytery now or a good teacher or your presbytery the church does everything possible to bring that Nepali to come and teach at a Presbyterian school to Presec. The churches had more influence on even the teachers who were teaching in the schools. The churches at the point were using a software to even teach some of the subjects. you could see said there was a gap when it comes to quality gap. These schools we are considering today as grade A schools, they had a lot of facilities. They had the gap and any abine schools wide because it was technically government school by private. Because they were being funded by missionaries. They were being funded by Nsawam. They were being funded by Abrofo. They got a lot. All these schools had a lot of facilities. But over down, as over check it, the typical government schools there, they did not have that much facility because AC school dying. So they can build 3 dining halls on one campus. They can build a science lab. They can build a dormitories like 20, 30. But the government schools they not have that luxury. It is also steady. The so-called grade A schools are majority, about 80% missionary schools. They at the end of the day, from the start, they had an edge over government schools. But why are we not changing how this works? Why are we not finding a way to make sure say Akorebia oti me papa kroma ayeldo aname mami krom denu. Sa Korano will get up and say, I want to go to school here. That was the thing na NDC for person ye. Near to Kroma. And another dan kweku for the MPP 4. Ekache Ghana for so omoba besi 350 senior high schools. Senkomu si sa schools na. 350 senior high schools. Senkomu si sa schools no. Because some beto over 50 schools, sir. Now NDC for see. This is what they said.
We plan a rapid and vigorous development of educational infrastructure in the first 18 months of the next MPP government. This will involve the building of 350 new senior high schools from scratch, whilst rehabilitating and expanding existing ones. Since these schools will be spread across the length and breadth of our country, this construction activity will immediately lead to an explosion of employment in all districts of our country.
Inti Jimmy no, time no mo pe power no. Omo ka kire say, omo be si 350 senior high schools. Na de wo ho no, omo refurbish a de atoa so. It means he was acknowledging in his speech in opposition, say the NDC government, they were in the process of building e-blocks. Now, this is the secret. The reason why Nipa Bebre and the Obako, me buy your school yanko, me buy your school yanko, because Obiadrin say presec of facilities. Obiadrin say prempe, ekurase prempe of facilities. Obiadrin say Boche is nice. Ura campus wise is beautiful. Obiadrin say Ura presec, I say we drew the US college be. Obiadrin say Ura my member girls school. Every girl sir. We ura some London school be the weather, the way the color looks, the serene environment, how beautiful the girls look, how nice, how sexy and respectful they are, how trained they are. Obi ura every girl sir. My member Mary's. Obi Ramerisa, Obaka say, look at how beautiful these girls. Omu color netia, omu uniform, show omu skin, sibi a daso. Just say, sa schools Mama getting in and pass them. So, I iti Obi Rasa schools Obaka say, sa schools when you be Kobe. Now, they're not Nana Opokwa Jiman in power in 2015. Time and now, your education minister. They're not opesa or say. The NDC government wanted to create an avenue. Akwarebia choose this school. They will see the school singing a pet. And it's a Mahamamo edit this e-block the formula by. Now the e-block no. Imagine say every secondary school and that's high schools by 80% of Ghana. Sending you out to say e-block and pepe. Yeah, the bungalows account. Ninyina or dining halls. Ninyina walls down. Ninyina looks the same. The facilities all look the same. The quality of teachers are the same. Do you think somebody will be sitting in a Senkregwa and telling you, say, oh, me pesa me bako presec? Because the facility now what presec campus no, the same facility no, anybody was Senkregwa. It's time my NDC for the knowledge by say, yes, BB a friend e-block, a formula block, whereby a Korebi or Tetakrade, or GSS or Oba Takwa, Obehu government SS na ohana, the what takrade no, and then the same the same color, the same facility, the same thing. Into Akrano, the was and Kreguano, or Peki Senior High Schooler, that kid is not intimidated by the Okohun St. Augustine's. And the Okohun or Presec campus. That was the plan and NDC for our buying per se. Or we introduce you to Ghana. Because it is about facilities, and the school placement to be a bar, not the problem. Now, Obibeka say, teacher for the Biwa, you good or Presec. Teachers are more Achimota are good. Teachers are more St. Mary's are good. Teachers are more Every Girls are good. Teachers are more the Porter Girls are good. Nina is because most of these teachers are for training college bar. Nyina epe baby a omasumbeto omo. Nyina epe baby a eho efe. Nyina epe baby a omokwa eho ede. Eho ukwa ukochira dia wombre. Now imagine say schools are Ghana nyina no. They are built the same as E-block. They all have teachers bungalows that looks the same. They all have science labs that looks the same. They all have buses that looks the same. They all look the same. Nobody will be sitting in a constituency in the central region and be telling you, say, I want to choose a school in the Volta region. Abra Onim say, the distance, ne papa and mama cannot afford. I think it's about time we started looking at this. Schools are grade B, grade A, grade B, grade C. And none of the corruption neba. And none of teachers be crumple and to a hand pick it, baby on some coach idea. And the Oko training college. There are so many of these teachers who say, hey, now, person child so, person coach idea Presec. Hey, now, person coach idea, oh, median kaminya, achimota kabepe. Why are they saying that? They are saying that because Uba Mikroma Yodwa, Abra Asebu Kwamankesi area, school na senior high school, no, facilities, no, and as equal as what is in Presec. It is an kabane try, and Nanka Kufuado Monkwasia Fowe, etwa E-block and so, and Nanka every constituency. Because, Messiah, do the maths for me. Mayanya maths bua. How many kids and a free SS, JSS, Aqua SS? This afternoon we did a math with my production team. If we are even talking about 450,000 children, that means to say 275 constituencies of Ghana. No, so you see E-block, and each E-block effort the 3,000. Each E-block effort something around 1,005 children. Yeah. It is each E-block effort 1,500 children. Now say every constituency, 275 constituencies, you see E-blocks too. It means we are going to have more children go to similar senior high schools, and we will even have reserve senior high schools. Right now, what is happening? And they say, there were a lot of kids put out as BEC students, go to senior high schools. We don't have enough facilities. Yatiana buying any private schools. Senior high schools, I collaborate to say, absorb some of the students because and then they create a double track. Now, why should we get double track in the first place? We are getting double track in the first place because we don't have enough facilities. And to me, I believe we say at this point, to get rid of school, grade A school, grade B school, grade C school, the government should try every constituency, to me see 2 or 3 E-block. And what we need to do as a nation is say, the E-blocks all should look the same. The John Mahama mono. John Mahama can say, under his watch, no school will be built without teachers' bungalow. No schools will be built without science labs. So, Mumia making sure say, the E-blocks come as a package. Into say about a Bekwai constituency. Near 2 E-blocks or near about Madina constituency. Near 2 E-blocks or none looking the same. It has the same facility. They enjoy the same thing. Why never time the ba every Bekwai say or the neighbor Madina say and or the Nico Srim so ongo school. Obian will find the ba every Srim say Ombra Obuasi Emeko Senior High School. Now people will be choosing schools in their constituency, and we also need to be looking at making sure say people choose schools within their zip code. People are supposed to choose schools in their zip code. That is the only way we can patronize the E-blocks. Into Sauti Asenkregwa or constituency or nasa over 2 senior high school E-blocks or you need to pick those schools. In fact, you don't need to pick because those are your only options. Now the standard should be the same because now we will not have teachers hand-picking or selecting which schools I want to teach. Because Sauti or Bekwai na E-blocker, the accommodation you get, Obi Chadi or Madina E-blocker, that person is enjoying the same accommodation. the kind of facilities who enjoy and I say amenities who enjoy our Bekwai E-block no as on the campus no somebody at Bole is enjoying the same thing. So the teachers will be committed to teach evenly because right now no you to the teacher be so unko kurasi bi ko kira de school no ko so we dem yen kurasi for nkora I'm not going to put effort. Sa teacher now the back crowd you adwuma se ponko adan oh so we dey sika for mba I dey obo homoden sikani bi behu. We need to start to set the standards the same. Mo amotete abrochire when you say your kids go to school by their zip code, why is it so? Abana it make sure say every county, every zip code, there is a school that you should choose from. Me, I am closer to a school a 2 minutes drive from my house. But my daughter goes to a school that is 10 minutes from my house because my school zip code, and I'm area zip code, it covers that school that is 10 minutes from my house. But the school that is 2 minutes from my house, my zip code does not cover it. Even though the school is closer to my house, my daughter cannot go to that school. My daughter needs to be in that vicinity. That zip code now, me banitimuno. In Ghana, no, you can say in the constituency. We should do everything possible. Say what we call a standard education or senior high schools. Now schools be better and chambia. We need to start adapting the free E-block strategy. Now, this is the maths. We have 570,461 young young people almost senior high schools from BEC, junior high schools. 570,000. Now, 2024 for new. Every constituency be a E-block back be for 2,000 students. Now, say each constituency E-block be for 2,000 students. Now say over 3 E-blocks in every constituency. Let's say minimum 2. That means every constituency, you can accommodate 2,000 students. Now, why should that student who lives 500 miles from another school, why should that student free sa area or enko school or wa? I didn't think I or wano, free wa embra per sec. Because the facility na wano, it is the same as the facility na woman kesim. Sa infrastructure na amenities na wano. Teacher bungalow no, the same teacher bungalow no, ebi na woman kesim. The same teacher bungalow no, ebi na takrade. The same dining hall no. Into the schools should be built the same way if you want to maintain that standard. So that thing we have introduced to say school way grade A, school way grade 2, grade B, grade C, about destroy your education no. Into majority of parents na who every morning they are there no. Some of them want their kids to go to a school they want. It is not by the grade they could akorano. Nana the dan kweku for an MP before be a flat gate no. And almost san koragu SS. And ebi broso. And create double track. And ja hokoye. And ankwasiafo we are means a single E-block. So imagine anke kufuadu nkwasiafo we MPP ni ba omia we mu anka omutimi see 2 in each region sir. Anka we don't have an issue here because now what is going to happen and they say we will even have the extra schools and korano yam bomb peso. But this is the situation. Who are broche? That's all person who call grade A school go and pay private. American yet no. There's nothing like grade A school. A buying school, you are buying school. And the facilities are all the same. And they don't select teacher near okwa teacher near okwa. Into the issue is so person oba also by do college and also about high school America. Now the whole feel say high school way, I don't like it. I don't like the reviews about it. Then you have to take your kid to a private school and pay from your pocket. Majority of the people cannot do that. So you end up going to the same high school in your community, in your zip code. Why don't we adapt that? Why are we making it so complicated? You want call for Ghana, omatina brochire, omunim said this is how it's supposed to be done. Odru Ghana, na okoshe teacher for so I want my kid to be here by force. As much as we are creating room for people to be corrupt. You creating corruption, no. You're creating room for people to be corrupt because teacher ni oto on case of sika breno. But sometimes sika the brand catch and say, oh, where the financial mamia, or no see nipa. So we nipa 10, obenya 7 on magiskano. Until we are not supposed to even create that avenue. You don't go to any place to say, mete Airday, mete Baltimore, and I'm a person called high school, I'm a person called DC. No. You cannot be staying in Virginia and say your high school should be in DC. It should have a DC address. It doesn't work like that. You can't live in New York and say your high school address should be New Jersey. It doesn't work like that. And then you to meet Ghana. Now obi say me real school I was Sankregwa. And so at the end of the day, me person me call senior high school I was Presec. If you say Matisse Presec near papa. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to make sure, sir, baby, a school. No, the government has made enough facilities available for you to complete your senior high school there. As much as free SHS, in Kwasiafo, we have say a system, no, a coup for the MPP for no, a Jimmy Omono. We need to continue better, and I trust the NDC government to make things better. John Mahama say they are going to do everything possible to build a lot of the senior high schools, and the ones that they left behind are NPP for Jahono. They want to finish it. Se constituency be 2 e-blocks. The organ. I'm telling you for a fact. Because e-block. Na sa e-block no e teachers bungalow e science lab e bus bako e bibia o se school nya e walla. Now see the same e-block ni bi takwa. I don't think say takwa akora na beka say oja e-block na e te say de wo e den e Accra no to come and live there. No, onye. And people will now start to appreciate schools, you know. We have allowed grade A, grade B, grade C. Akora you know say enya de obetume making o grade A enso na ne papa. Because ne papa join the Kobi. Because ne papa sorry, on incophobia dinkomobi. Inti papa na ye be possible say osa akraniko persec. Obano so you know say he or she did not pass. Ni grade ni ndruo. Inti for us to take out all this nonsense, I believe say the government, he say MPP bar power. Na educhum. Kankwasi adibi oyeye. Ose wa kwesi bibi a friend STEM school. Why do you go build 1 or 2 schools and say we are STEM? The moment you do that, at a point, there are going to be a lot of kids and our parents make back STEM. Now, how are you going to manage those numbers? Are you now going to build another STEM senior high schools around the nation? What e-blocks around the nation? STEM is a curriculum. You need to add it to what the kids are doing in school. You don't need to go build a block, a whole school and say, where there was antimemu, your friend is STEM school, where Jimmy? The moment you do that, then every single topic we introduce, you need to build a school for it. Because STEM on its own, it involves different kinds of topic that comes together as STEM. Now, you need to inculcate that in a curriculum of the kids. Into the schools that are available, no, whatever makes STEM, no, you need to supply to the schools for them to teach the STEM. You don't need to go build another building and say, where their friend is STEM school. In 2 years, 3 years, near 40,000 people, 70,000 people, no one has call STEM school. Now, how are you going to accommodate them? But you need to add the STEM to the curriculum. SS the okwa or say the STEM account. Now the government looks at all these schools. A dear young man they be here, I'm a STEM now. Yeah, they be school no curriculum no. I be jina na so. Or me here tools way. Or me here way. You add that. You add it to the school. Send a obi choose this school. Obi to me choose Presec. And it's not STEM no yeah. Obi to me choose Boche or yes STEM. Obi to me choose Asenkregwa Senior High School. Now or yes STEM. That is what you do. But edutume Jimmy, any MP before Jimmy, they think everything is populist. Oh, you see STEM school. You build STEM school just for STEM. In 1 calendar year, you need 100,000 someone you STEM. How are you going to accommodate them? Now, e-blocks now, we see no any senior high schools now can Ebola with Jimmy. In that STEM school, it is not important. There's no need for that nonsense. We need to add STEM to the schools. In the America, a him fan wa better say a STEM school. America, him fan wa to say school where there is STEM. But STEM is taught in every single school in America. About STEM, accoutrement omu here omu be kire sa STEM no. The school is supplied with those things, and they use those to teach the kids. So why don't we do that? Because I'm paying so education minister into yankosi a whole school and say school where their friend is STEM. Yankosi na santimemu into yakosi STEM wa santimemu. Into adia chia ni asakosi STEM ba ko water region. Into yankura 300,000 nya person STEM near o school miensapa. How are they going to go to school? Abra, if every senior high school was teaching STEM, at the end of the day, you don't need to have any backlog. Everybody can go to their senior high school. STEM will be taught there, and it will be part of the whole curriculum. NPP fue Jimmy. Debbie Amekache Ghana for say, you see, we have been doing this job for We have been doing this job for a long time. Sa MPP omo yankwasiafo omo ndwene. Omo ni munyansa. Yeni aso almost for a very long time. But you see, when you sit down and analyze the way they think, they don't apply anything. All that they do is that, look at primary school. FQ, free compulsory universal basic education. JJ Ron is introduced here. Now, what was the idea? The idea is that Akorebia access to primary school. So it should be compulsory everywhere. Now, you making it compulsory means you need to put in a lot of investment. What is the investment? You need to build a lot of primary schools. At a point in our life as a nation, there were a lot of primary schools being built. And the MMDC, it is all in there, say, I will see more primary schools. So why do we don't even have enough senior high schools as a country, as a government? Now, STEM school. Who's STEM school for the STEM can be taught in any senior high school. The stupidity of STEM, the foolishness and obsession of STEM. Now, kwasiebia platform, you have built STEM school, Equia press school, Okoha, STEM building this war, into Yanya Dang. STEM, enya school. STEM, addition, yesuya. STEM, enya edang. STEM too can be taught like life skills. STEM can be taught at any vocation. STEM is skill. It is STEM school because you say where a STEM school. Your technical school. STEM should be taught as a curriculum. Mwe Jimmy. And I almost say sika. And yet and uncle for Jimmy for 8 years. Almost abasi and tam to me more. Now this school placement issue, we will talk about it. Seriously, maybe your channel or maybe your phone lines, and then we will allow people to also call and share their observation with us.
It is what it is. Nature say in summer I brought to a journal from the headquarters of Kevin Ekobedu Taylor. In fact, Elijah. Do you think say he have a point to say? And I say, oh, ya manapruso. 20 years. I know it. And I say it is good. All right, more change rembla. Need more update ebe pro. Emerson for Zazie, aka you be the head. May I say, Pia.